it's Doris from All the Books, and I am finally bringing you my final installment from April. 30 books in 30 days, which actually, to be completely honest, I must call it 30 books in 30 and a half days. So there you go. But still, I think it's quite an accomplishment. And I do have a few other little cheats in here. But yeah, still, go me. So, I finished I Was the Cat by Benjamin Dewey. And this was a minor cheat because my intention with 30 books in 30 days was to read down my bookshelves because I've been buying so many books and I can't seem to control that. Yeah. So, but this is the only one that was not off my bookshelves. Sort of. I picked this up from the high school library. It was a new acquisition for them, and it just kept looking at me and I couldn't resist it because you know I love my cats. And I ended up reading it with one of my students, so we read it out loud for a week, and it was so much fun. It's just a fun little graphic novel about a cat seeking world domination over the course of his 9 lives. And so we got to talk about setting and flashbacks a lot because the different lives range from the Pharaoh to Napoleon to Audrey Hepburn and Breakfast at Tiffany's. So it was really cute. The only issue I had with it was that it just completely ended abruptly. I hate comic books for that. So, and I don't even know if the guy is making another one. I couldn't find any information online. So if you're aware, let me know. And then I finished Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. This was awesome. I would give this 5 stars. The main character, she's preteen, maybe early teens. I think more preteen. She's just so precocious and strong-willed, and she's completely delightful, quirky. I loved her. And this is such an educational book. It's set, I think, in the 80s in Iran, and I just learned a really lot about that situation. And if you're a child of the 80s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Learned a little bit about the culture and the changes in culture, the severe changes that were going on at that time, and some of the history. So this one is, I highly recommend it to anybody. It's great. And then these last books I finished on the last day, so the 30th of April. Counting by Sevens, Holly Goldberg Sloan. This was the little middle grades novel that I picked up, I guess last week maybe. So cute. Really fast read, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The little main character, she was adopted as a baby, and in the first chapter, her mom and dad are both suddenly killed in a car accident, and the book is about her finding a new little family, just a group of people that comes together and they create a new little family and benefits all of them. It's just sweet. It's just heartwarming and lovely. And I also finished The Dress Lodger by Sherry Holman. This is the one that I was listening to on audio, and I didn't really think I was loving it. I mean, it was fine. I was enjoying it okay, but I wasn't loving it. And I think a lot of that is due to the narrator. Some of the narration is in first person. The I, we thing kind of leads you to believe that you're there, and it just came across as a little pretentious. But I think part of that was due to the audio narrator as well. Something about her voice and the way she was reading it got on my nerves just during those segments. And it was so long. Like, this was only barely a 300-page book, and the audiobook was like 14, 15 hours maybe. So I guess I need to learn how to speed it up and listen time and a half, because that's just crazy. And the characters, I didn't exactly engage with any of them. I didn't feel invested in them. But oh my gosh, did I get immersed in the storyline. Just the history. I just learned so much. This is set in 1831 in Sunderland, England, and it's all about the cholera epidemic, the doctors needing cadavers for medical study and the superstitions surrounding those, and the doctor still having quack ideas at the time. And there's a little boy that has been born, a baby's born with his heart outside his chest, so you hear a little bit about that, and just the absolute abject poverty at the time. Really, really interesting. So I enjoyed that. And the last couple chapters I ended up reading instead of listening to, and I think had I read the whole thing, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. And then I have a couple more little cheats I knew I wasn't going to finish. So I read my little baby books from when I was 3. I showed these in a recent tag video. They're so cute. I enjoyed that. And then so it was maybe 11 o'clock and I was getting pretty sleepy. I don't do well at night. And I thought that I could finish this, but I had like 70, 80 pages and I just had to go to bed. So this is I finished it the next morning. So 30 and a half days. That's still great, right? At the Mouth of the River of Bees by Kij Johnson. And this is a short story collection. I thoroughly, thoroughly love this. The stories are just a wide variety. They're mostly, but not all, but mostly animal themed. Some of them have a fantasy fiction flair, not extreme, a little bit of science fiction or magical realism, some with Asian flair, a wide variety, and they're excellent, excellent. There were 3 that were totally stupid, and I was like, what in the world is that? But there were, I think, 18 stories in all, so 15 out of 18 is a pretty good percentage of great short stories, I think. And there is one in here that completely slayed me. I mean, I think it's probably going to be my all-time favorite short story ever, because it was that funny. I really like dry wit, real subtle, and I like big words with the dry wit. That just really cracks me up for some reason. Y'all are going to think I'm weird, but this makes me laugh. So I'm just going to read the title in the first little paragraph so you can get just a little feel for it. And the solitaire that's mentioned in the title is the big clunky looking bird, not the card game. So anyway, the title is My Wife Reincarnated as a Solitaire. Exposition on the flaws of my wife's character, the nature of the bird, the possible causes, her final disposition. That's the title. Now here's the first paragraph. My wife seems returned to me as a solitaire. A great, ugly, mean-spirited bird, feathered and stubby of physique, with a great bulging beak, a surly mien, and an omnipresent squawk. To deny so unnatural a fact would be a comfort, but a sensible man faces difficult truths. The whole story just, it's subtle and witty and dry. It cracks me up. And then, this is the last book that I finished, but I wanted to put it at the end because I think there might be some minor spoilers in what I have to say, and I wanted to be able to tell you when to turn the camera off if you didn't want to hear them. The video, not the camera. I'm going to turn the camera off. You can turn the video off. So, The Sport of Kings by C.E. Morgan. I did finish this. So I'll go ahead and tell you up front, it is 545 pages of wordiness. So if you don't like wordy novels, probably you shouldn't pick this one up. There's a lot of descriptive passages, and I tend to power skim descriptive passages, but these are very literary descriptive passages that I love. So I read the whole thing, every word, and I just thought it was beautifully written. a lot of it is nature focused in the southern US, and there's a lot of biology in it, especially genetics. And so, like, when she was describing the countryside, I was just so, my heart was so into it because I just felt like she loved nature as much as I do. Like, she loved the birds and the bees and the flowers. She did. And so I really, really appreciated that. But again, that is something that I totally enjoy. Also, while it is about horses, and it's a multi-generational story somewhat, and there are 3 strong main characters that you read about. So the first 3 sections are almost like short novellas. So it's a lot of characterization and a lot of thematic writing, and yeah, but it is about horses. So not, a huge percentage, but quite a bit. So if that doesn't interest you, that might turn you off along with the verbosity. So anyway, then the other thing that I enjoyed was how thematically written this is and how layered it is with society and racism and the prison system and the healthcare system. I was left thinking about a lot of things when I finished the book, really. It's one of those books that lingered, and I know that it's got mixed reviews. Some people are loving it and some people are not at all loving it. And it just, I think, depends on what style of writing that you like and what you're looking for in a book. So yeah. Anyway. And now for spoilers. And this won't take a minute. But if you don't, I mean, it's not major spoiler, but what I'm going to say will let you know what's happening in the story when you get there, if you know what I mean. So thematically, one of the other things that I really, really like in a story is I'm just a sucker for a good redemption story. That's kind of like one of my top things is a redemption story. And this book, you really want a redemption story, and there isn't one. And it's for a reason, in my opinion. One of the main characters does things that are so horrible that you couldn't face, even though in the end you could tell maybe he's starting to turn around. It wouldn't be right to just wrap it up in a tidy bow. Yeah, I don't think so. And the other character, you really, really want a redemption story for him. But sometimes it just, I guess life goes too far and redemption's no longer possible. I don't know. Yeah. So. And innocence is carried through. There's a baby and a horse, and they carry the innocence storyline into the next generation. But you're just left wondering if anything's ever going to change. So, I mean, there's a possibility of it, but, it's, to me, there was a lot to think about, and I'm still thinking about it. So, I appreciate that in a book, one that makes me think. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I feel like it was a highly successful month, and I'll be back soon because I've been buying books, so I gotta share this now. Yeah. So I'll chat with you then. Bye.